a panel of Christian hosts, and we are here to discuss Christianity and the culture surrounding it. The topics can range. Now, sometimes we're going to talk about church hurt, and sometimes we're going to talk about what would Jesus do.
Wanted to actually piggyback on what you said about the slavery part. And for me, I think a lot of people go do research because they're not spiritually connected to God, so they don't see the benefit. Like, I don't feel like I need to go do any research because I have proof. I know that my God is good, you know? So there's no reason for me to go and do research. And even if it came from slavery, thank you.
Yeah, right.
That's the way that I feel about that.
We spend so much time on religion and not relationship. For me, it's about relationship. It's about what we do as Christ-like. Just like you said, Tanisha, what would Jesus do? We have to constantly ask ourselves, what would he do? Okay, if we again are supposed to be in his like image, okay, well then we're supposed to do the same.
Hey everybody, and welcome to this week's episode of Coffee, Tea, and what?
Christian culture.
Christian culture. There it is. We want to welcome you on in. We may be experiencing some technical difficulties, so bear with us. But in the meantime, in between times, go ahead, like, share, tag. 3 things. Like, share, and tag. And then give us some hearts. Let us know that you're watching, that you're out there. This is an interactive talk show. We want you to be in the comments. Let us know where you're watching from, what city you repping, what state you repping, what colors you're wearing, all those type of things that Christians may or may not do. So let me tell you a little bit about coffee, tea, and Christian culture. Then we're going to bring the host, the one and only Tanisha R. Atkins in. But this show, it is a faith-based show. The mission of this show is to have the conversations that sometimes Christians don't have, or they may sweep under the door. It's time to, get rid of the myths. It's time to talk about the truth. And what does God say about this, or what does the word say about that? So that's the purpose of this show. This show is designed to start your week off with more hope, more faith, more inspiration. So don't be timid. Don't be scared. Interact in the comments. I see we got Evangelist Kimberly Redford in the house, repping that H-Town. Christy Connolly is here. She said hello, beautiful. Okay, all right. I get carried away when I say that. Come on, Tanisha. Come on in, girl. Tell us a little bit about today.
Well, hello, everybody. Good evening, and good evening to all my beautiful co-hosts that are on here today. We are excited that you have tuned back in for episode 3 of Coffee, Tea, and Christian Culture, where you are 10 already told you who we are and what we do. And we are excited about this platform because it gives us a chance to really bring some of the issues, like she said, just to the forefront, to take the conversation from in and out the church walls to bring you here to kind of talk about some things. So we have a lot of interesting topics coming up as we go on. And so just continue to like, share, invite people to join us to tune in with you. And so I think with that being said, we can go ahead and bring in our special co-host for the week.
Woohoo!
Hello, everyone. And it feels great. Just in case you are logging on and you don't know who I am Onyx. Yeah. And guess what? Welcome to Coffee, Tea, and Christian Culture. We are so happy to have you. And I am the co-host for this Sunday evening.
All right, Onyx, come on in with the energy. Come on in with the energy.
Yes, honey. And I do believe, guess what? Today is a good topic.
It is. Today is a good topic. I'm excited to kind of hear what y'all opinions are about this topic. So with that being said, I say let's dive on into the conversation. Onyx, tell us what we're talking about today.
Oh, yes. Today, actually, what we're talking about is Christianity and the box. We're going to have that
Mm.
conversation. Inquiring minds want to know, what exactly is the box? What does that mean? Everyone
Mhm.
keeps talking about it, even me, because I have said that and I have said it on numerous occasions. I'm just a person that just don't like to be put inside of a box. Okay.
Yes, yes, and I definitely want to dig inside your brain. I want to know about this box. I know for me, I've been hearing about this box for a very long time as a Christian, but it has become so much of a cliche now that when people say it, I just like say, okay. So I want to know, have y'all heard this before? And well, I know you have, Onyx. Start us off, Onyx.
Yeah.
When you say that, what do you mean?
Well, what I mean is I've never, and this goes even past Christianity. I've just never been an individual that likes to be uh, in a certain like or kind. I have my own mind, my creativity. I'm an originator. And so that's basically where that starts from. But now we're talking about Christianity, okay? Being a Christian. And so to me, for me, I do when when the word comes up Christian, I do cringe. Me,
Mhm.
I cringe because of the hypocrisy that has gone on. You hear so many things in the media, things that just go on in general. And because I'm a person of love,
Mhm.
because I'm a person of just being kind hearted, because I'm a person of being able to just understand an individual, we have to kind of stop and think. The ones that, when you say Christian or Christianity, for the ones that don't even know Christ and just want to do better and want to learn about Christ, um, you hear that word when you say come to church as you are. And I'm gonna tell
Mhm.
you something. A lot of individuals, they may say, "Well, I'm not ready to come to church. I gotta kind of straighten my tie up a little bit before
Mhm.
I get to church." But that's not what it is. It's not
Mhm.
basically how we actually physically dress, but what do we have in our heart? Basically, we need to be somewhere where we can be cleaned up. And if we are put in a box,
Mhm.
and if I'm being put in a box, well, then guess what? I feel that I'm going to be judged, or there's no room to grow, or I'm going to be
Okay.
judged. And it should not be like that. So
Okay.
when I say that, it's far more greater than um, the word Christian. I am a believer. I believe. I believe in
Mhm.
Christian. I want to do better. I want to be
Okay.
able to have that relationship with God.
So let me pause. So basically, what you're saying, from what it tell me if I'm gathering this right.
Mhm.
So with Christianity, you feel like some of the labels that people are saying, or the way that some people say things have to be done pertaining to the Christian community or the culture, you feel like you don't want to be put in that box to say, I'm a Christian, so I have to do this. Or is that what you're saying? Like you mentioned the general, like with the tie. So do you feel like there's like a stigma saying when you come into church, like if you're not dressed a certain way, do you feel like that's like boxing people in to say that you have to come and dress like this?
I definitely do. You know why?
Okay.
Because we don't know people's situation.
Right.
We constantly, we like I said, that's a form of judging.
Mm-hmm.
And because I'm an analyzer, I will analyze everything. I don't care if it's a movie. I'm analyzing everything. You know, you hear in the courtroom beyond a reasonable doubt.
Right.
We really have to go back and stop and think. When someone comes in to church, some people have been turned away because of things
Mm-hmm.
that they've had on. But how do we know? What if it's the only thing that they have to wear, and they want to get to somewhere where they can get that relationship with God?
Okay.
So who are we to see? You also hear this stigma about going to church and you pass up the church house. A lot of us,
Mm-hmm.
we go to a building and we passing up the church house. We tend to, just pass up somebody that may be in dire need to get to the church house. And then guess what? A lot of the times we will go in the, inside the church. We listen to the message and we're not trying to change. So it's evident that we truly have to look within ourselves. And I feel really, I feel for individuals that really want that relationship. How do they get that relationship if they're constantly being crucified, if they're constantly being outed by the church or so-called Christians? That's not right.
Gotcha. And I get what you're saying. I totally, now in that instance, I can totally understand, where you're coming from when you said about the box. Let me tell you what I think or thought, whatever, that some people mean when they say that. When I hear a Christian person say, I don't want to be put in this box, what I hear is, and I'm just going to be honest, sometimes I feel like that's a way of saying, I'm a Christian, but I don't necessarily have to, like, all my ways, or I don't necessarily want to do the things that Christians do, or so I'm trying to say it the right way. Like, I don't want to be boxed in, like, now I'm a Christian, for instance, I can't go to the club, or now I'm a Christian and I can't drink, or I can't smoke. That's what I think about when they say, I don't want to be put in this box of, like, I was a free person and now I become a Christian and now it's like, oh, I can't do all those things. So that's the perspective I thought that people kind of were coming, from with that, because I'm like, okay, so is this box, are we saying that we want, like, to be a Christian, but we want to have a license to still do the things that we want to do? What do you think about that, Tan?
Well, I just think that first, Onyx and what you guys have said has been amazing about the box. I just want to interject before I get in my thoughts. You guys know I'm always like rooting for our the comments. And evangelist Kimberly Refford said the box is a stereotypical way of looking at people. So Kim, if you're still listening, if you could elaborate a little bit more about what you mean when you say that. And listen, if anyone else is just joining in, you're coming in late, we're talking about the box, Christians and the box. What is the box? What does the box mean? So if you want to jump in the comments and let us know, please do so. Now, for me, when I think about the box, the first thing I think about is religion. So I think that for me, religion puts us in the box. But there's a scripture that says, where the Spirit of the Lord is, there's freedom. So for me, people are the box, because they begin telling you everything you don't do, can't do, shouldn't do. Okay. So when I think about the box, I think about people and religion who puts us inside of a box. And then, because how do you know that God didn't tell me to go in the club and minister to somebody that might be in the club? Sometimes that's the only way people get to know God, get introduced to Jesus, is by us going in those places that are not the church. I've learned that sometimes the church is the box, the structure, the building. But church has to happen outside of the walls, just like this show. It's a place where we welcome God in, His truth, and hopefully others can either get the word that they need, the deliverance that they need. So to me, the box is people. People keep you in the box.
That is a good perspective. I just want you to know that y'all have really helped me to see a different side of that, because I immediately think I don't want to be put in this box means I want to say I'm a Christian, but I want to do worldly things. That's the way that I take it when people say that. So these perspectives have definitely helped me to kind of say, maybe they're just talking about the people that's saying, oh, like they did Jesus, oh, you're a Christian, don't do this on a Sabbath day. Or like, don't box him in and tell him what he can't do when he did what he needed to do. The man needed healing or the woman needed healing. So what if it was the Sabbath? He still healed the man. So I thank y'all for definitely opening up my perspective for that, because it's just, Go ahead, Onyx.
However, Tanisha, but listen, you are correct though. You are definitely correct, because, and I say we, you know what? We're always looking for excuses. We're always looking for excuses. You know what my daddy used to always say? You shouldn't have excuses. Don't make them. Just say you didn't do it.
True.
Okay? Say what it is. But you are absolutely correct. Because when it's time to show up and, like I said, even go to church or try to, do the right thing. Some of us will say, okay, well, I still got to finish that one little drink. I feel I still got to finish that. But if we never get to a place of wholesome environment, if we never get to that, if we never get to the point of, I really want to do better. I just want to change who I am, because it starts with a thought. And so the thing is, it's important that we spend time with ourselves. How much do we love ourselves? Because when we continue to love ourselves, embrace ourselves, we are actually embracing who God is. We truly are embracing that. So it is when you say that people become a product of your environment, it is true.
Right.
Not exactly sometimes like where you live, but your surroundings. How is everybody thinking? If you put yourself in a situation and you have a lot of ambitious individuals, because we have to learn. We have to be willing to do certain things. So I'm going to tell you, yes, I do agree on that, because we're always making excuses. Always making excuses. We find a reason to sit and say, no, I don't want to do that because, I want to do this and I want to do that. Yeah, you are so right.
Yeah, because the people that I have heard say that outside of you, when they say that, I don't want to be put in a box. And I'm not judging, I'm just saying facts. I look at their lifestyle, and I'm going to say that their lifestyle reflects more of a worldly lifestyle than, to me, this is my opinion. So, and I'm not saying that Christians have to, well, I guess I am saying it. When you, I'm trying to be cautious because I don't want to start some stuff on the show today. But to me, I guess the people again that have told me that, again, I'm just going to say it that way. I watched your behavior. I watched some of the things that you do, even from treating people wrong, because that to me is, when you don't treat people right, that's a worldly behavior to me, because as Christians, we're supposed to treat each other right. So again, just going back to what I was saying to simplify, the people again that I heard say that have all said that because they were not ready to fully change their ways. I'll say it that way, from some things that they were doing as far as being in this box. And that's why I kind of want to just talk about that today, because they say, hey, don't put me in a box. Don't tell me what I can and can't do. But then again, there are some things that as Christians that we should be doing or shouldn't be doing. But I don't think it's necessarily people's job to, knock on our door and keep saying, hey, you ain't doing this. I think we should check ourselves on the situation, if that makes sense.
Okay, but so again, I agree with what you're saying. There is that population of people, but then there's a population of people, like Evangelist Kimberly said, she's a gospel rapper, so she was outside of the box. So it's people. Also, traditions are a box, because you when you talk about the worldly behavior, I mean, and I know all the scriptures, so don't y'all come at me with these scriptures. I get it, or you can. It's okay. I know the scripture, come from ye among them and separate yourself.
Right.
I know that scripture, and so I know what the word says, but I also know that people are the boxes, because, Tanisha, first of all, I want to say this. We should be our brothers and sisters keepers. So we should be holding people accountable. But that doesn't mean
Mhm.
that we are judgmental. That doesn't mean that you see me out prostituting on the corner and you don't never say anything.
Well, of
You know,
course,
you know.
definitely.
So we have to be held each other accountable. But when we become born again Christians, there should be some change. Most time,
Right.
people want to orchestrate that change instead of allowing the Holy Spirit to be the
Mhm.
change. Traditions kick in because we always did things one way. But Jesus was wise. He
Mhm.
was a fisher of men. And in order to catch fish, you got to be talented. You got to be skilled. If that's what
Yeah.
your purpose is. Some people like to go fishing and they just like, the relaxation. But when Jesus
Mhm.
went to fish, he went fishing with a purpose. He went to capture a man's heart. He brought deliverance, he brought wholeness, he brought healing. So you got to be different. You got to be
Mhm.
outside of the box. And oftentimes, individuals, you are the box. We keep ourselves boxed in. God told us to do something, but fear keeps us from doing what we need to do. Doubt keeps
Mhm.
us from doing what we need to do. There are so many variations of this box where
Mhm.
I feel that based on your relationship with God,
Mhm.
you should know your father's voice and be able to hear it, be obedient to it, and act on it. Because I know that there are different, ministries in the fivefold ministry. I know that we have prophets, we have teachers, we have pastors, we have evangelists. I know about all of that. But I also
Mhm.
know that I have that intimate relationship with God. So I
Mhm.
don't expect for somebody else to come and say, God told me that you should be doing this. I think that God, when I'm in the right place, He gonna let me know first, and you gonna be validating it.
Right. I totally
So,
agree with that. I
so I'm just
100% agree
saying
with that.
that sometimes we are the box. Traditions,
Right.
fear, doubt, so much happens inside of the box. And then yes, those are those individuals who do say, you said you got saved last night, girl, but you're still doing the same old things.
Right.
I totally
Right.
agree.
That's a good perspective. And just to answer somebody in the question said a question in the comment said why are we worried about other people's lifestyle? Not really worried about it. Just having a conversation about it to get a better understanding of what the box is that we are referring to. Because after kind of hearing this conversation, like I'm understanding why so many people are running from Christianity because it almost sounds like you say I'm a Christian and then they pick you up like this and be like, now you're going in the box. And a lot of
Right.
people, from what y'all are saying, like, we don't want that. And so I think just
Exactly.
to make it clear that you don't have to be in the box. First of all, you have to love God with all your heart, mind, and soul, like he said, and kind of keep your focus that way. So this is a good topic to have because some people won't step by the church. They won't, like honestly, they won't even pass by the church because they've
Mhm.
been told this box seems like some kind of punishment. So I think,
Mhm.
it's good to talk about that to understand the perspectives, to let you know that it's not like that. God is not trying to put nobody in a box
Mhm.
like that. He's required love him with your heart, mind, and soul. I think if we
Mhm.
keep our focus there, it kind of shuts some of the opinions off for people to say, everybody may not get that. Some people still listen to, not everybody that's a Christian like just listens to church music. Like I don't just listen to church music all the time. It's whatever mood I'm in, but I don't let people tell me, "Oh, you wrong. I'm going to hell or nothing." If I don't get a conviction about it, so
Mhm.
I'm understanding more and more about this box. So we're definitely not judging nobody's lifestyle. It just the conversation needs to be had so that we can have a clear understanding of what we mean about the box.
Right.
On last week, you guys, when you guys were talking about the renewing of the mind, and my Hope Coach said we should not have to go around and say, "Oh, I'm a Christian." It should be
Mhm.
by action.
Right.
That's what we should be able to. We should be able to learn and see by action, and that's why it says watch the fruit. Because that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna watch your
Mhm.
fruit. You know, and just the word, and that's why I'm saying, just for me, just the word Christian. I don't have. Why do I have to be there? Why? I do follow Jesus. I love Jesus. I believe in Jesus. I believe in God. I understand that. How come I can't be a believer? Because that's who I am. I believe. And this is the thing. I have children that have questions. Okay? So, it's like I've even prayed to God to help me find a way to allow them to come into their own and of course get their relationship. But me as a leader, it's my responsibility not to scare them off. I don't want to scare them off. So it's about love and understanding and being able to listen to individuals, because if you know what, a lot of times church people, they don't even want to listen.
Yeah.
Why does church people have to be always right?
They
can't be wrong. And
you're so right.
Yes, and this is the thing. Just like I said once before, so you are going to reprimand me because I did not say art and thou, because I didn't pray the same way that you prayed.
Right.
That is not right
At all.
So let me tell you something. It has nothing to do with being a Christian or anything. We should want to treat people with kindness and treat people the way that we want to be treated. But we have been hurt. And you hear that word, Tanisha, when you said, we're going to talk about church hurt. Is hurt everywhere. Hurt people hurt others. So we really have to learn how to be patient in every aspect of our life, because we all have a story, and our story is here to help each other to grow.
Yes.
And that's all I'm going to say on that, honey.
That's why we're having this conversation, though, because just like that, with that whole box situation, there's probably people, again, that have sat back and say, I can't go to church because I'm not really ready to fully commit. Not knowing that we all in the process.
That's right.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
We all say, hey, we Christians, we believers and stuff, but that don't mean we don't do stuff right. I've had some Christian people to be very nasty to me. You know what I mean? So we all are. Don't think Christianity is just this box of perfect people. And it really bothers me that when people think of Christians, they think about judgmentalness, but I can't say that they're wrong. I can't say that they're wrong. They judge everything from just how long your skirt is when you go to church and all that stuff. And we just run so many people off like that. Running them away from the church. And I think Jesus was the example. He did not treat people like that. He talked to people that other people wouldn't talk to. And just hearing them say, oh, why he talking to him? Again, just if you're going to be a Christian and follow his example and treat people right and love on people. And I think that is a big issue in the Christian community. So I'm going to vote for a new box and say, put love in the box. Let's start a new box.
Right. And I'm going to vote for no box. I'm going to vote for freedom. I'm going to vote that everybody knows that where the Spirit of the Lord is, there is freedom. Yeah. So you can be free. You don't have to be in a box. And if you choose to put yourself in a box, make sure it's a bottomless box. So when the wrong things come in the box, they can fall out the box. And the right things can stay in the box. But ultimately, I want people to know that you can be free. Becoming a Christian, it's a whole new world. It's freedom. It's global. It's not traditions, and I know that we talk about, that's why I want the box not to have a bottom in it, because people do hurt people. And people do want to drive by the church. They don't want to stay in the church, and I get that. But once you walk in freedom, because sometimes I had to check myself. There was this one church that I started going to, and I was like, oh, these people sure not friendly. And this is where I want to talk to individuals about having that relationship with God. God began to check me. He said, who have you spoken to?
Come on.
He said, you waiting on somebody to come greet you. Why don't you go greet them? Child, that next Sunday I went to that church and I was saying hello to everybody. Because sometimes, and to me, that's also a form of ministry. So
Yeah,
it was,
that's right.
it was easy for me to say what the church wasn't doing. But when I began to look at me, who's making up to church, I became a part of the change that I wanted to see. So it may be somebody out there right now got a bad taste in your mouth from the church. And I get it. I've been there. But I'm just telling you how God dealt with me about that thing. You know, God will check you
In a
and
minute.
and let you know, hey. So when I begin, and then he always have the scripture, and that's one thing we always want to point to on this show. We can take it back to the Bible. You know, even the word tells us first show yourself friendly.
That's right.
And that's what he brought to me. So I went to that church and I was like, hey, how y'all doing? How you doing? I'm tan. I'm tan. I'm tan. I'm tan. So listen.
That's
and
right.
it doesn't even have to be in the church. Somebody may be on their job right now in a box. You know, you might be in school right now in a box, but you're yet a Christian. And if that's what's nagging at you, honey, go ahead in there tomorrow, Zoom or in person, mask, however you're doing it, and switch that thing up. You know, because the word also say he'll make your enemy your footstool. So,
I love that. I love that you bring it back to the self-awareness, because for me, that's what my personal Christian relationship is about. It's about being aware of how I treat other people, how I'm speaking to them, how my behavior is, how I'm treating them, making sure that I'm not trying not to be perfect, but just checking me. If I got an attitude with somebody, go back and get that right. You know, making sure I'm not being selfish, making sure I'm being kind when I do stuff. That's what it's about for me, because love God with all your heart, mind, and your soul. One thing about God, God loves people. So I can't say I love God, I love God, I love God, and then I mistreat people, but that is what's happening. So for me, it's about checking me. Girl, make sure you straight. Don't worry about what about girl, did you see her do that? Girl, worry about you. And that has been a growth for me this year and last year alone. Just taking some time to focus right here. Because it's easy to point over there and say what somebody doing, but when you focus right here, how do I respond to it? Even if they were wrong, how do I respond to what they did? That matters. If I get out there with you and cuss you out and get gutted with you and be like, baby, look, you know, because we can do that. You know, I'm real. We can go there. Or do I want to control myself and say, you know what? I'm not going to allow you to do that anymore. It's just about, that's what the relationship is about for me. So just want to put that out there.
Yes. Well said. I just want to get to some comments. And I like this word that Kim put up. She says liberty, you know, and liberty means freedom, you know, and Krista said true, Tanisha, with an exclamation point. Girl, you was
that's it. That's real, baby. That's a grown-up lesson right there.
Yes. And I also like how Krista said, you know, I am my father's child, which goes back to what you were saying. If we are our father's children, then we need to act accordingly. Because in the real time, kids be acting up. First thing we say is, who raised them? So for some of us, our probably saying, who raised y'all? You know, but looking at us saying, who raised you? You know, that's not who, you know, I said that I am. And Kim had also mentioned that I'm a disciple, you know, and that's something that I think we should be asking ourselves daily. You know, if you are a disciple, how are you discipling? Because you can disciple and be totally, you know, not in the right way. So you know that Kim is discipling right. You know, she has a heart for God, a heart for people. So this has just been an amazing topic for me, you know, because I'm sitting here again checking myself about the box that I put myself in. And I'm like, girl, you say you're free, but are you free indeed? So, hey.
And I'm glad you said that, Tim, because you get ready to recap the show. But just to say, if you've been kind of running away from Christianity or running from the church because you enjoy being free, we just want you to know that you can still be free. There is no more. This is the best freedom ever, because it can be just you and God, and that's it. You know what I'm saying? Not that we know we need people, but just kind of with this show, we just want to kind of encourage you to bring it back to the basics of Christianity, which was to fellowship with God. And you get in there, you let him deal with you. If it's something that you need to check or whatever, when you keep that openness up and you hear him, he hear you, let him deal with it, you know, and clean you up. So this has been a good, great topic indeed. And I think it's time now for Tammy's going to go ahead and just recap the show for us, and then we'll get ready to do our closings and be done for today.
Right. So, in recapping the show today, we were talking about what is the box, Christians and the box. And, Sean brought home an excellent point about how when we embrace God, that means to love who we are and where we're at, because we are embracing him. When you love and embrace yourself, you're loving and embracing God. So then, Tanisha talked about people in the box who kind of got the I'm a Christian, but I still do this ism. That people who want to say, don't really want to give up everything that they want to give up just yet. So, that's the reason why I don't want to be, in this box. That's the reason why they use that terminology. So, yes, Some people are using the box as a way to continue to do what they want to do. And Sean Dad said it best. He said, don't have no excuses.
I like that.
And then finally, we just want to bring it home about self-awareness. Are you putting yourself in the box? Or are you realizing that you are free, that this is the best freedom? Here in America, they say land of the free. But right now in society, a lot of people ain't free because, they're being killed right before us. But if you want true freedom, there is no freedom like the freedom and the liberty that we have with God. So we just encouraging you to get out of the box. And if you're in the box, remember, let it be bottomless so that the things that need to fall through the box. And what needs to remain in the box, remain in the box. And one thing I will encourage you to finally, as we recap the show, is size up when you need to. Your box should be growing. If you that Christian that want to be in the box, the more room you have in the box, guess what? The more you can move around in the box. Don't stay in the little tiny box. Go ahead and get you an extra large box. And remember that you can be free. You are free. There is no freedom like the freedom in God. So that's kind of been our recap today for the show, Christians and the box. What is this box?
That was a great recap, Tan. I love that you said if you are a Christian that feels like, hey, I want to be in this box, I want to do things this way, this is who I am. Kudos to you for that. But we're going to say open your heart to receive people as they are, because that's what Jesus did. So don't be so hard on people because you are right here. Kudos to you if you got that down and that's your religion tradition. That's good. But let's remember that the heart of God is people. And so just open up your mind to that. So I'm glad that you said that, Tan. That was a very, very great point. Stay in your box. We ain't going to judge you. And you ain't going to judge us. And we just don't leave it like that. So we want to again remind you that we are on every Sunday at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. You can find us on Facebook Live and also YouTube Live. And if you have any comments about the show, any topics that you want to hear us talk about, you can email us at coffee, tea, and culture. That's AND. Okay. Coffee, tea, and culture at gmail.com. You can drop us an email if you have some thoughts about today's show. We appreciate our audience. We thank you for continuing to chime in with us every single Sunday. And we'll be back again next Sunday with another amazing topic. And with that, Miss Onyx is going to give us our 2-minute inspiration, whatever she wants to encourage you with this week. Take the floor, Onyx.
Yes, definitely. Onyx wants to definitely tell you to take this time to love on yourself more, to find out who you are. And if you don't know, ask. Just like Tanisha said, this is a no judge zone. We're not here to judge. We just want the nation to love and respect each other. We have to start from somewhere. And that's most importantly. Check yourself. Check yourself. If you threw the stone, if you threw a rock, say you threw it. Don't try to hide your hand and say you didn't throw it. So be real with yourself. And I'm going to tell you something else my daddy always said. When you know you do wrong, sometimes we got to kick ourselves in the derriere with the McDonald's shoe because we always trying to kick somebody else. But sometimes we need that kick in that big yellow shoe that Ronald McDonald, those 2 yellow shoes. Sometimes some of us need 2 kickings with 2 shoes. So if no one has told you today, I personally want to say that I love you. I love you because we need to hear that. Some of us don't hear that. But I want to say I love you with all my heart, and it's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. Breathe. Breathe like you're smelling the roses and take a deep breath. I'm sorry. When you get ready to take a breath, breathe in like you're smelling roses. Blow like you're blowing a birthday cake. Blow because you know that you can be a better person. And that's what it's all about.
That's been amazing. Amazing. I love that. Girl, I love your daddy and his teachings and his wise saying. Because, when you kick yourself with that Ronald McDonald shoe, some stuff got to come out of you. So that's amazing, amazing, amazing. Very amazing recap.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. It was. And so that is going to pretty much be our show for today. And again, just want to thank everyone for tuning in, and thank you so much, Onyx, for joining us this week. It was a pleasure having you in the seat for week 3. And y'all, we are just getting started on this amazing journey. Be sure y'all are telling people that we're on, and we welcome topics from y'all again. And it's been a great show. I thank y'all for diving in the conversation with me and teaching me some things about the box and helping me to open my mind up about it, because I told y'all I was. So now I'm going to look at things different when somebody say, I don't want to be in the box. And now I'm going to say me either. So I'm going to say me either, girl. I don't want to be in the box either. And so we hope that's your story too. So that's it for me, Tan.
Right. And I just want to say thank you to our YouTube family. Not sure if I acknowledged you earlier, but please follow, like, and subscribe over on YouTube. Do the same. Go to Coffee, Tea, and Christian Culture Facebook page, and coming soon we'll be on Twitter. And just thank you, everybody. Remember, doing something like this, sharing this platform, places you outside of the box. Be outside the box today. Yes. Share good news, because this is good news.
It is very good news. Great conversation. I hope somebody got free today. I hope somebody got free.
Yes. And as we wrap up today's show, Onyx, thank you so much for the 3 magic words. I love you. It started people in the comments saying, I love you too. And I love you too. So make sure that we're telling each other that we love one another, and then make sure your actions support that love. Love is a verb. Remember that.
Right. That's right. Love is a verb. Well, next week we got the Millies up. So next week we are. Oh God, I'm excited about next week to see what these Millies are gonna bring to the table. So we have 2 co-hosts coming up next week. Tan calls them the Millies. So I don't remember the topic that we're talking about at the moment, but we will have that and we'll post it soon. But that's today's show, guys. So thanks again. We are glad you tuned in, and we're gonna say go have a great day and enjoy the rest of your day and stay away from us.
Right. See you later, everybody.
All right.